Which one of the three brothers do we have? At Geiger. Hey.
That is some of the most fun you get to have with your pants on doing any sort of dirt work. It's windy today. You see in the mountains, we're getting snow already, and it's, what is it, October 13th, 14th, something like that. That's just nuts. Today we're just doing a bunch of sprinkler blowouts, getting ready for winter. Got a couple of friends. Makes for a pretty fun day. Not sure how much filming I'm gonna get to do because I gotta use both hands for most of this, especially hooking up the air compressor. It's a big one. We're running it 120 psi, getting all these lines blown out. Most of them are 2-inch lines. Makes for a long day. Every station got to run it for almost 30 minutes each. 20 minutes the first time, 5 and 5. Sometimes more depending on how much water settles. But that's the extent of my day, probably most of those. But we are in borderline panic mode thanks to our esteemed management on how to handle the impending snow. Got a bunch of rain in town the last couple of days, but if you look up at the mountains, one's got over 4 inches. They had to shut down a mountain pass today because there's too much snow and trucks couldn't stay on it. And then I was looking a little more local. Some of our mountain peaks are 3,000 feet. There's snow a good probably 500,000 foot down. Don't know the exact elevation of where our snow line is, but it's down more than I expected for this time of year. Like I said, last year we didn't even see snow on the mountains until November, so this is, I'm not going to say it's going to be this winter of 2008 all over again, but it is looking like we might get ourselves a pretty good winter. Which is great for me, because running a snowplow, if there's no snow, there's no work. And you spend 10 hours a day just trying to keep yourself busy and looking busy for the boss and making everybody else happy. When, if you could actually be plowing and getting the overtime and putting in the work, you feel a lot better about yourself at the end of the day, especially working night shift when you're getting off at 2 o'clock in the morning. I guess it's technically a late swing shift, 3 to 1:30, getting home 2:15. But that's kind of how it's going. But another thing we have going on is a big shuffle with some of our crews as to who's going days and who's going nights and what leads are going to what crews. So I don't know what I'm working this year. I mean, I'm right in the middle for seniority because we do a seniority-based shift bid for winter for days and nights and what schedule you want. But everything got all mixed up this year. We'll find out probably next week, hopefully, to start making phone calls. appreciate the views I got on my boot review video, and I really appreciate all the comments, you know, talking about how I can better memorialize Frankie and the impact he had on my life, and the fact that I'm still buying the boots that he made, and I'm still wearing the boots that he made after all these years. Yeah, hopefully these more vloggy style videos appeal to somebody and we can make it work with continuing the content on. Appreciate it, guys.